All right, go ahead.
Charleston Southern's kind of a unique opponent there, a new head coach, a new system there. How are you preparing for their offense?
Yeah, well, you know, the guy that's the head coach now, he was there last year, so there's still some carryover with that. You know, obviously they can run the ball. When you look at them, they're averaging close to 40 carries a game and like 270-some yards a game. So they're going to present a challenge from a standpoint of making sure that you're sound on your option responsibilities, and you know, they're going to cut you on the perimeter, so you got to be able to play with your hands and get off those blocks. And anytime you face a team that is heavy in the run game and they're a you know, a hard run team, they're going to have play action passes off of it. You know, because if you look at the guys that are coming back, you know, they're really averaging, you know, close to 20 yards of a reception. So that's chunks down the field. So, you know, it's important that even though you're working to obviously play the run plays and things like that, you got to have good discipline and good eye control and be able to play the balls when they go down the field. So, you know, we'll continue to work and practice a little bit better tomorrow and get ready to go by Saturday.
For the interior linemen with the wide splits and the ability to run it inside, what's the challenge for the defensive tackles?
Well, I think anytime you face a team that has the three elements of, you know, you have a dive component, you have a quarterback that can get on the edge, and then you have a pitch component. The challenge is being able to take away those things, because it's a read for the quarterback and he can, you know, play it based upon how you're playing. So you got to be good on all three phases at all times. So that's the challenge from that standpoint with a team like this. So, you know, it's a matter of, you know, doing your job. You know, it's important to set the edges and build a wall inside. So we'll continue to work on those kind of things.
How do they compare to, say, a Georgia Tech, a team you would have seen?
Yeah, I mean, they're similar. I mean, there's some nuances with what they do. They have a good scheme, you know, for that kind of system, and certainly it'll be a challenge. So we just got to continue to work and make sure that we execute and play to our level.
Is there an advantage to playing a team like this early in the season, where you've got a few weeks to prepare for them, as opposed to facing them, you know, week to week?
I don't know. I mean, every week's a little different, you know. I mean, we've kind of done things on opponents that we're going to see throughout the season, the whole training camp, and then you just kind of dial it up and bring it up that week, so it's not totally new for the players. So I don't know. I don't really worry about it, to be honest with you. When we got to play them, we play them. So, you know, they're the first game, so we're going to get ready to go play.
Do you like being able to throw your defense against a team like this that maybe isn't so traditional, and see how they respond to it, both as individuals and collectively?
I mean, it's a matter of doing your job and executing, and I mean, you know, it's you know, that's the team we're playing the first game, so we're going to get ready to play and we're going to go play. So I don't really care.
Is there any extra excitement for you? You've been doing this a long time, but to be at a new place, first game at state and things, did the butterflies come back a little bit?
I'm excited from the standpoint. I think our players have worked hard. I think they've bought into our system. Now it's time to go produce, and it's time to go show your abilities and those kind of things. So, you know, we've got work to do. We certainly look forward to playing in front of our home fans and getting them excited and giving them something to be proud of from that standpoint. So, I mean, you know, as a coach, you're always excited when you get to go play, you know, because you don't get, but you're only guaranteed 12 of these, you know, and in the way you play them, you're guaranteed another one relative to how you play those 12. So, you know, there's a lot of work invested into just 12 games. So each one of them is kind of precious from that standpoint. So I certainly want to take advantage of that and play. So we're excited, and we'll continue to work hard and hopefully play well.
What have you seen from Brendan Bryant during camp?
Done a good job. I mean, the guy has shown up with the ability to tackle in space, you know, on the edge, which is a key for safety. He's obviously a gifted guy athletically, and he can run and he can change direction and do those kind of things. I think he's worked hard to become a team guy. He's worked hard to learn our system and understand the nuances of how you need to play the position. You know, worked on his discipline and eye control and those kind of things, which is critical for a safety. No matter who you're playing, from a run-pass, you know, ratio, and you know, your run-pass keys and things like that. So I've been pleased with his work ethic. He's a guy we're certainly going to depend upon to come through and play, so we get to see how he plays on Saturday.
Dad mentioned that you guys are still awaiting word on Chauncey Rivers. In the event that he can't play this year, how do you feel about your depth and what you can do without him?
I mean, you know, we'll just kind of wait and see what happens. I mean, obviously, you've got Fletcher there, you know, Kobe can play there, you know, Montez, you know, Tez can play there. Marquise can play there, so we've got some guys that can play there. So, you know, I've always approached it as, you know, who's available and how do we get our best 11 guys on the field at this time. To do that, you have to cross-train guys, and the guys have got to be able to play more than one position, which we've done, because injuries are going to come throughout the season. And, you know, defense is about matchups. Defense is about winning the one-on-one matchups, both in the run and in the pass. So we'll just take the guys that are available and plug them in there and get the best combination of guys on the field. So, you know, it's really yet to be determined, but certainly we have a plan in place to play the guys that I mentioned, and we'll just see how it goes.
What have you seen from Fletcher and Kobe as they prepare for the opening?
Yeah, Fletcher's an athletic guy. He's worked hard to be a little more physical presence. He's got some athletic skill set to him, not only in the run game but in the pass. So he's really bought into what we're doing. Certainly pleased with his progress. Kobe's really a try-hard guy. He gives a lot of energy and effort when he's out there. You know, it's important to him. He's got a lot of compassion to play, and certainly when you get guys like that, they're fun to coach. So we'll just you know, roll those guys with whoever else is available.
How have your inside guys, Leo and Dez, handled this preseason? Are you pleased with what they've done so far?
Yeah, they've done a good job. I mean, you know, Dez is a guy that's waited a while to be the starter, and he's certainly a guy that, you know, you always have a quarterback in the middle, and certainly he's that guy for us. And it's really important to have that kind of guy because, you know, guys around him can hear the calls and how to play and that kind of thing. And he's taken ownership and pride in that. So I've been really pleased with that. Leo's done a good job of trying to become a more complete linebacker, which is critical for his development and our development as well. So we'll continue to work to develop him as that. But both guys have taken pride in their work. They understand they got a little more work to do, but they improve every day. And really that's the key for us, is to continue to improve every day and you know, just work to become a better player. And if you become a better player and develop your skill set and you take a team approach, then our team's going to be better. So that's really where we are.
It seemed like you had at least 4 solid corners, you know, throughout camp. Did anybody separate themselves from that group?
Nah, you know what? I've been pleased with the guys as a whole. I wouldn't say anyone's separated. I've been pleased with our work and our development. I think that because of that, that gives us some flexibility with some guys, and we'll certainly explore that moving forward. You know, because as you get going throughout the season, you know, there's a lot of space teams coming up and spread teams and things like that. So the ability to maybe get a little more speed on the field is something we'll continue to develop, because those guys have done a good job, you know, at corner. So again, it goes back to the ability to cross-train guys and see what they can learn and how they can help us to get the best combination of players on the field relative to who we're playing. Because really, you know, it's about matchups, and you got to be able to match up with people. To sit there in one defense or one personnel grouping, to me, is not the way to do about it, because then you're going to get kind of, you know, you're going to get isolated and you're going to get some matchup issues and things like that. And I've always been a matchup guy relative to who we're playing, and, you know, find ways to match our guys up against your guys.
How can you use Peter's size as a matchup advantage for you?
Well, I mean, there's big wideouts out there, so certainly when you see guys that have size, you certainly look at ways to get him on them because of his size. He's really worked hard to become a complete player in his game, and I've seen significant progress in him from, you know, day one spring ball all the way till now. And he kind of started in spring. Thought he did a good job of working out in the summer, and it's starting to carry it over to August in what we're doing. So we'll continue to roll him with the other guys, but certainly when you face the receivers that we will face moving forward, that gives you some size to match up on those guys.
I know you don't have too many, but are there any other true freshmen outside of Willie Gay who have a shot at playing?
You know, yet to be determined, but I would certainly say Willie has the best shot right now.
All right.